weeks until WrestleMania. Ronda Rousey defends her Raw Women's Championship. Kurt Angle announces his opponent for his very last match. And Seth Rollins sets his sights on Drew McIntyre. My name's Garrett. Welcome to Scale, the show where we look at Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live to give each segment a rating on a scale from 1 to 10. First up, we have Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman coming out. Heyman cuts a good promo, as always. But unlike last year heading into WrestleMania, Brock is actually getting booed this time. And his challenger is getting cheered. In the crowd, the fans are chanting, "Burn it down," and then Paul Heyman continues on with his promo and goes on to mention Drew McIntyre taking out 2 members of the Shield. This leads to McIntyre coming out and cutting a promo of his own, which felt a little forced. They obviously just had McIntyre come out here so that way Rollins could come out and beat him with a steel chair multiple times. It was ridiculous how many times he hit him with that steel chair. Then Rollins jumped into the ring with the chair. Lesnar and Heyman, of course, quickly exited the ring, leaving Rollins to stand tall. I'm going to give this first segment a 7. It was a great way to kick off Raw. Next up, we have Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush taking on Finn Balor and a partner of his choosing, who turns out to be Braun Strowman. This match is going to get a 6.5. Good match. We had Balor and Lio Rush in there as the 2 high flyers, and then Lashley and Strowman obviously as the 2 big guys. All 4 guys played their parts brilliantly. We go backstage to see Ronda Rousey entering the building with her husband Travis Browne, and then they are approached by a referee and security. The referee begins to tell Ronda that there is security there tonight so that way she doesn't lay her hands on any referees. It is mentioned by the commentators before this that Ronda Rousey was fined by WWE a heavy amount, although they don't specify how much. This segment's not going to get a rating because of how short it is. We get a moment of bliss, and Alexa's guest tonight is Elias. She plays up her part as the host of WrestleMania, as Elias comes out and claims that he will be the headlining musical act for WrestleMania. They are interrupted by the music of No Way Jose, but the conga line is headed up by Otis and Tucker of Heavy Machinery. Of all people, why Heavy Machinery? I understand that they needed some sort of distraction here to get Elias off his feet, but why did they need the music to play? Why did they need a conga line to come out? Why not just have Jose just attack Elias from behind? Why throw on the charade? Just to get Heavy Machinery on the show? Because that was all that they did, and that was pretty pathetic. I mean, I like Heavy Machinery, but that was pretty ridiculous. Yeah, they really should have just had Jose attack Elias from behind. I'm going to give this a 4.5. This would then lead into a match between Elias and No Way Jose, which Elias would pick up the win. Felt thrown together and pretty pointless. It was obvious that Elias was going to win. Jose was in control of most of the match until like the last maybe 45 seconds when Elias would finally gain the upper hand and get the win. The match, I'm just going to give a 5.5. It was a little bit better than a moment of bliss, but not much. Kurt Angle comes out and announces that he's going to face Baron Corbin in his final match at WrestleMania. Why Baron Corbin? I mean, I get it. There's history there, but I don't know. I think I would have preferred Kurt Angle versus John Cena. Maybe they're saving John Cena for a match against Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental title, since that's a championship that Cena has never held, and then he could finally earn his spot as a Grand Slam champion. Following this announcement, Kurt Angle has a match with Chad Gable. Prior to the match, Chad tells Kurt that he's one of his heroes and that he's incredibly grateful for this opportunity. This is quite possibly Kurt Angle's best performance in a long time. I mean, he really did look good here. Chad Gable is phenomenal. He made Kurt Angle look like $1 million. So props to both of these guys. The match is going to get a 7.5. After Kurt picked up the win, Baron Corbin came out and to help build up their match to WrestleMania. Come back from commercial to see Baron Corbin backstage talking with the Revival. This is going to be another one of those short segments that's not going to get a rating. Apollo Crews comes up and challenges Corbin to a match. Sasha and Bayley come out for an interview with Charlie Caruso. Charlie questions Sasha and Bayley about the Iconics, so the Boston Hug Connection announced that they will be on SmackDown Live the following night. After that, Natalya and Beth Phoenix come out. They each cut a promo before they lay down the challenge to Sasha and Bayley for a match for the women's tag team titles at WrestleMania. This was actually going well to an extent until things began to get too personal too fast, and then they got too physical too fast, and then there was a match made apparently during commercial, because once we get back from commercial, Sasha and Natalya are in the ring, and then Natalya ends up winning by disqualification because Nia Jax comes out to cut a promo on Beth Phoenix, which allows Tamina to come out from underneath the ring and sneak attack Beth Phoenix. and then she lays out Bayley and then Sasha Banks. The referee calls for the bell. Natalya rolls out of the ring and Tamina runs off through the crowd as Nia says, "See ya at WrestleMania." Clearly, there's going to be some type of triple threat match here for the women's championships, which is what I kind of suspected at Fastlane when Nia and Tamina attacked Beth Phoenix. This overall segment is going to get a 6. It wasn't bad. I just didn't like how personal it got with Sasha and Bayley and Natalya and Beth that quickly. It didn't feel natural enough to me. So in the worst segment of the night, which is going to get a 3, we get another one of those Mojo Rawley promos where he's talking to himself in the mirror. And quite honestly, these are just becoming really annoying. After Mojo, we get Ricochet versus Jinder Mahal, which is going to get 5.5. Yep, you heard it. Jinder Mahal was actually in a decent match. Ricochet got the win here, but he also did something else that I've only seen AJ Styles do, and that's to help Jinder Mahal have a good match. Another quick segment that's not going to get a rating because it has to do with the Hall of Fame. Sue Aitchison is announced to receive the Warrior Award this year. Apparently, this woman has been the driving force between WWE and Make-A-Wish for the last 30 years. After that, Seth Rollins cuts a promo backstage. It's going to get a 6.5, pretty much just hyping up his match for the main event. And then after that, Ronda Rousey comes out looking as pissed off as ever. Before Dana Brooke comes out, we're shown footage of her backstage being interviewed right before her match. This is stupid. A, Dana Brooke cannot cut a good promo. B, Dana Brooke cannot cut a good promo. They should not have done this. Dana should have just came out because she came off as being incredibly stupid after the things that she said. It only took, I believe Michael Cole said, 15 seconds for Ronda Rousey to get the armbar on Dana and have her tapping out. But she wasn't just tapping out, she was screaming because Ronda wouldn't let go of that armbar. She had that armbar locked in for a lot longer than that match went on for. And Dana was just screaming and screaming. And another referee came out. Eventually Ronda lets go of Dana's arm. As one of the referees puts their hands on Ronda, she pushes him down to the ground. So the other referee is calling for security. Ronda goes to ringside to give her husband a kiss. That's when security runs down and surrounds Ronda. As soon as one of them put their hands on Ronda, she lays them out, and then another security guard grabs Ronda, and this is when Travis Browne gets involved, and he grabs him, turns the guy around, and just clocks him. This entire segment is going to get an 8 because this is doing wonders to build up Ronda as a heel, and we need that. We need a strong, dominant female heel on Monday nights. We have that on Tuesday with Charlotte. Now we need it on Monday, and we're finally getting it. In the next match, we have Apollo Crews versus Baron Corbin. Now, I was really surprised here because I thought this match was going to build up Corbin for his match against Kurt at WrestleMania. However, it was Apollo Crews who got away with the win here. I'm going to give this a 6 because, hey, a surprise is nice every once in a while. The match wasn't terrible. So, yeah, Kurt came out afterwards to congratulate Apollo Crews as Corbin was in the ring just throwing a fit. After this, we get an interview with Batista. Michael Cole conducts the interview from the commentators table as Batista is live from Tampa, Florida, which is actually going to be the home of WrestleMania 36. But honestly, this whole interview, it just felt really flat to me. There wasn't enough emotion on Batista's part, and his reasoning for attacking Flair, it just wasn't that good. I was so impressed with that segment. Well, I think it was about 3 weeks ago now when Batista attacked Flair. It caught us off guard. It was surprising. And Batista just appeared so sadistic. It was great. It was brilliant. But I have yet to see anything like that since. I want to see that sadistic side of Batista again. Last week it was him just standing on the entranceway. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. Sounding like a child over and over. Give me what I want. Then this week, he just felt like there was no emotion in his reasoning behind it. It was just as simply as, I don't like Triple H. He held me down for my entire career. Either that wasn't a good enough reason or there wasn't enough emotion behind it. I'm going to give this a 5, but I'm just losing interest in this match now. In a backstage segment, Braun Strowman announces that he's going to be entering the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, which I'm pretty sure it's safe to assume that he's going to win that. I don't know who else is in the match, but knowing how much Vince likes Braun Strowman and that he won last year's greatest Royal Rumble, I don't see why Braun would be a poor choice to win the Battle Royal. But then Braun's talking about the WrestleMania correspondents Michael Chi and Colin Jost from Saturday Night Live. That's when the WrestleMania host walks up, Alexa. She asks Strowman to give her 1 week to make things right between Strowman and the WrestleMania correspondents. Strowman says that she has 1 week, but that's it. I'm giving this a 5.5. Yes, I actually thought thought this was a little more entertaining than Batista's interview. And then we come to our main event, Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins, which I'm going to tell you right now is going to get an 8. It was a great matchup, and prior to this, McIntyre cuts a great promo on Roman Reigns, which totally makes up for his lackluster promo from earlier in the night, and challenges him to a match at WrestleMania. And then Seth Rollins comes out, and the match gets underway. Like I said, it's a great match, great action, and there's no way to have Rollins lose this match clean without Lesnar somehow interfering. And sure enough, Lesnar music plays, and him and Paul Heyman come out on the entrance ramp to gain Seth's attention, which allows McIntyre to get up and hit a Claymore on Rollins and get the win. And that's it. I was kind of expecting Brock to go down to the ring and maybe deliver an F5, but nope, he didn't. He just stayed on the entrance ramp, and him and Paul went back to the back. So that's going to do it for Raw this week. Overall, it's going to get a 6.04. So stay tuned for my episode scaled on SmackDown Live. Hit subscribe, give me a like, check out some of my other content. You can also find me on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Patreon. I appreciate any help you guys can give, and you guys have a great day.